first panelist is Irina Busygina. She comes from Moscow, from the Moscow State Institute of International Relations, and she's there working in different places actually, European Studies Institute as well, and Center for Regional Political Studies. And Irina's main spheres of research include EU-Russia relations, very topical theme, regional development and regional policy in Russia. She's author of several books, and I heard a new one is coming soon about Russia and EU. And actually, she's now visiting fellow at Aleksanteri Institute. Irina, the floor is yours.
My dear colleagues, let me start with saying that it is indeed my very great honor to be able to talk for you today, and I don't know why I was chosen for this to present here, but it is for me, it's something very serious, something very I would say outstanding, and I deeply feel the importance of this day for the Institute, and I am not belonging to the Institute as such, but still I feel this belonging. It is in me. So I very deeply feel the importance and the seriousness of this day, and I want to say something about, since the topic of our panel is what remains unknown about Russia. What remains unknown? Interesting question, because many things are known. And I think that during last years, the researchers who do Russian studies collected, documented and analyzed a lot of information on Russia, and this is profound research, and we are moving forward, and Aleksanteri Institute is surely a pioneer there, and I never ever have some experience, I never ever saw a place with such a collection of brilliant specialists in different spheres of Russian political, social, cultural, economic life, and so on and so forth. So maybe we should, if I may, to reformulate the question a little bit and not talk about what remains unknown about Russia, but what remains understood about Russia. Probably we should think about better understanding, because indeed we know a lot. Russia is an open country. You can access to almost every possible, sources. The problem is how to understand it. Understand and then re-understand again, because the time distance also here it is important. And from this perspective, and having said this, I propose two subjects or topics which puzzle me personally. I don't know if they puzzle you, but they puzzle me, and they relate to the current Russia's development, and one of them relates to the internal development, while the other to the external dimension of Russia's development. About internal dimension, I could say that what I observe in Russia, this is the unprecedented attempt to build a nation. But this is a kind of a special attempt building a special nation, because for the reason of ethnic diversity in Russia, we cannot determine a nation in Russian in ethnic terms, and this is forgotten. So we need to search for other definitions, and here we find the definition as nation as a political community, and this is exactly what is under development in Russia, since the state makes the state authorities making efforts to build the Russians as political community, Russian nation as political community. However, it's not the puzzle. The puzzle is it possible to build political nation vertically, done by state, without building the civic nation, the horizontal nation? Because nation not meaning like a piece of people living in a piece of land, but nation meaning the structured through networks, horizontally structured communities who share, the people who share the common agenda, the common interest, and this is not situative, but this is a prolonged and sustainable phenomenon. Is this possible when you define the belonging of the nation to the nation through the political loyalty to the state. So I think it is kind of a, should I call it experiment? But it is kind of experiment, because I could understood such an attempt in very small and very closed community, plus ethnic things, yeah, if we look, for example, in North Korea. But is this possible to do, to achieve, having in mind Russia's scale, Russia's diversity, and Russia's openness? Is this possible? For me, it is what is going on now, and probably this is this puzzle could grow into kind of research and understanding. Because for me, I'm from Russia, but for me it is a puzzle. Who are these дорогие россияне? How Yeltsin called the Russian population. Who are they? To what are they loyal? And how sustainable is this loyalty? This is the internal puzzle. In the row, there are many others. Yeah, my idea only to attract your attention to two of them. And the second is about external dimension. And this is about what I try to study. In particular, this is about the limits of the Russian influence in Europe. Because it is expanding. It is increasing. And there is a lot of research devoted to the European influence in Russia. And even for the best years, and these years are certainly not the best, but even for the best years, the conclusion was that the European influence in Russia remained very limited. But what about the reverse process? And this is the process we are observing. So Russia tries to expand its influence in Europe. And searching this, we could expand our knowledge and our understanding not only about Russian society, but also about European societies. Because my expectations about European societies were quite different. Before I studied what is going now in Europe, having in mind the rise of the right-wing parties and of the left-wing parties, the rise of populism in Europe, and so on and so forth. So this, what are the segments of the European society which are particularly vulnerable to the Russian influence? And what is the phenomenon of Russian temptation? Why are they tempted by Russia? What does this mean? Again, I repeat that this is not only understanding Russia, this is also understanding Europe. This is basically what I wanted to say in the 7 minutes which were very kindly granted to me. But finishing my presentation, I wanted, now I will find the words. I wanted to congratulate very sincerely and very warmly the Institute and Professor Kivinen and my friends, because you are not only my colleagues in the Institute, you are my friends, and I wish you all the best for the next 20, 40, 60 years ahead. And yes, and I think that this is a very special and a very unique place. And this is the place, the Institute, which occupies very special position in my heart. And this will be always the case. Thank you.